CinePlay começando, e essa semana é a estreia mundial do quarto filme da franquia Piratas do Caribe. Navegando em Águas Misteriosas traz Johnny Depp mais uma vez no papel de Jack Sparrow. E dessa vez o bucaneiro bêbado e safado se alia a Barbossa para encontrarem a mística fonte da juventude. Você sabia que o Piratas do Caribe é inspirado em um famoso brinquedo da Disney? É, meu amigo, dá só uma olhada.
You believe in pirates, of course.
Oh, yes.
Well, you want to see some?
Love to.
Right over here, we'll meet them. Here are the pirates in here ransacking and carrying away loot. The audience will be seeing this from a boat, you know. And all the characters will be life-size and lifelike in their movements.
You best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one. Years pass. A new crew of pirates appeared on the horizon, taking ports across the world by storm. And at the helm, Captain Jack Sparrow. That's an entrance, right? The ship is ours!
Ready and action!
So if you be willing to sign on for this unchancy cruise, muster your courage. Smarten up, all hands ready to set sail on stranger tides.
De M. Night Shyamalan, de Fim dos Tempos e O Sexto Sentido, chegou nas lojas em DVD a versão live action da animação Avatar. Em O Último Mestre do Ar, o pequeno Aang precisa dominar seus poderes para trazer a paz ao mundo, dividido por 4 nações de diferentes elementos: fogo, água, terra e ar. Saca só.
The force of darkness is upon us. You are the only one who can stand against them.
I was wanting to do a giant epic fantasy movie. I toyed with Harry Potter's and Chronicles of Narnia's and all of those wonderful series, but never found the right fit until The Last Airbender. So I'm lucky enough to have this opportunity to make a movie with this kind of mythology and archetypes.
You are the only one who can control all the elements and bring peace to our world.
Well, this is my third picture with Night Shyamalan, Sixth Sense and Signs, and now The Last Airbender. And, you know, I think his style and his imagination and his vision brings a lot to this story.
Him directing this film has really given it so much credibility, and he's going to bring a whole level of depth to the characters. I did an audition way back, and I got myself on tape for the film, and I hadn't met Night or anyone.
One of the first auditions I saw that I loved was this kid from London, and this was way early in the process. And I put him in my pocket, and I was like, God, this kid's great. And 6 months later, 7 months later, my wife and I were watching a movie called Slumdog Millionaire, and I go, there's that kid.
One day, I got a call from Night on my mobile, and I thought it was a hoax for a second, and he's like, hey, this is me, Night. And I was wondering if you'd play Zuko for the film, and I was like, oh my God, is this real? It turned out to be real, and it's just been an amazing trip.
I will not be allowed to live in peace until I bring the Avatar to my father.
My number one thing about these big epic movies is the action. You know, it needs to be breathtaking.
Night said every stunt, every action sequence has got to be the best you've ever done. We can't do one great one and then slack off from there. Everything has got to be great.
I'm a big fan of martial arts. Actually, Bruce Lee was one of my idols growing up.
Let's see it again, ready?
I studied Taekwondo for a bit when I was a kid, and then I got a black belt, and that's really helped me like channel my energy.
This movie has 4 distinct martial arts styles. So the biggest challenge is to make them look different so that when a waterbender is fighting a firebender, they don't look like they're doing the same thing.
Each nation has a different style of fighting. Like the Fire Nation's a lot more aggressive to the Water Nation, which are more fluent.
Fire is forceful, it's kung fu. It's like force against force. Water tribe, since water is very like flowy, it's more Tai Chi. In Tai Chi, you use the other person's force to go against them.
Knight wants to have at least one key shot in every sequence that's a how'd you do that shot.
Comes around and freezes the guys in the big ball either here.
His style is to do long, continuous shots, and when you're doing big action sequences, long, continuous shots are a challenge that's just huge.
When you see the movie, there's this beautiful shot where a guy with a sword comes in and he dives underneath it, like sliding underneath it, and he flips over people in the battle and he's freezing everyone. Very ballet-like, and your jaw drops at how beautiful it is, like an art form.
The fight scenes are cool. I really get this epic feel with the film. The battle sequences look so big.
We had 300 extras at one point, all fighting. The cameras were swooping around the ceilings, and it was epic.
I want to make a fun movie with martial arts in a form that dazzles the audience, and it's pretty spectacular stuff.
Tá a fim de ganhar um DVD do épico Os Pilares da Terra 4, Obra dos Anjos? Então é só participar do concurso cultural Paramount Pictures Home Entertainment e responder de forma criativa em até 140 caracteres a seguinte pergunta. Se você fosse um rei durante a Idade Média, o que faria para ganhar popularidade? As respostas podem ser enviadas por SMS para o número 50111 com a palavra concurso, mais a sua frase, mais o seu nome completo. Ou por e-mail para concursocine@playtv.com.br até domingo, dia 22 de maio. O resultado você confere no site da Play TV na segunda-feira, dia 23. Agora a gente vai para um rápido intervalo e eu já volto com um novo filme produzido e estrelado pela Natalie Portman. Fica por aí. Já em cartaz nos Estados Unidos, Hesher deve chegar por aqui no dia 17 de novembro. Na história, um garoto chamado TJ perde a mãe em um acidente e, junto ao seu pai, ele vai morar na casa da avó. Na nova vizinhança, acaba conhecendo um cabeludo, solitário e revoltado chamado Hesher, que, através de muita anarquia, ajuda TJ a superar a dor. No elenco estão Joseph Gordon-Levitt, de A Origem, e a Natalie Portman, que também assina a produção. Dá só uma olhada.
What's Hesher? Well, everyone seems to have a different definition of the word Hesher, and I don't think this character really fits into any of those definitions.
Hesher is this sort of, it's hard to describe.
He's this crazy guy who just likes to mess with people and get me in trouble.
Hesher's got a giant U tattooed on his back, and that pretty much sums him up. He is the ultimate badass.
He's sort of just a bizarre clown of a caretaker, I guess. We've even compared him to Mary Poppins.
There's two ways to look at Hesher. One is this crazy character who does absolutely whatever he wants. The other way to look at it is
he's a character who sort of doesn't care what anyone thinks about him, says exactly what's on his mind, and has a propensity to be, vulgar and violent and rude. And he's sort of an embodiment of all of the feelings that TJ's going through.
This film, in a way, is about a boy and his dad dealing with death. Simply. That's what the movie's about this boy TJ who's dealing with the loss of his mother.
And there's this crazy character that comes into their lives and helps them deal with it in a very unconventional way.
It's not sentimental, it's a very emotional film without being sentimental, and I think that's really rare.
I wanted to make a film that was honest, that wasn't afraid to explore and talk about death and what it feels like and how it affects people that are left behind. Particularly TJ, who's a 13-year-old boy, what it does to him.
We all deal with grief at some point in our lives, and to have it in such a personal, unique expression that is also funny and entertaining in ways, because I think that's what the most difficult times are always like. You always find this sort of dark humor in it.
I play TJ, 13-year-old kid, and it's about me and my father going through this really tough time, moving in with our grandma, and my dad's just, you know, on the couch always, just pill popper.
The thing that keeps TJ going is that, you know, he wants one thing in this world. He wants his mom back, and unfortunately, she's not coming back. But for him, her car is the closest thing he has to her. So he's very much focused on getting that car back.
E o CinePlay de hoje fica por aqui. Para continuar ligado no que rola no mundo do cinema, segue a gente no Twitter. Um abraço.
Riding on a horse.